Hey, what's going on, my friends? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Victor, and today I'm going to share with you 5 things I think you should know about this upcoming powerful new moon and full solar eclipse on July 2nd, 2019. That is a dynamic duo, a new moon, very forward moving, growth catalyzing, bringing you forward in your life type of energy, and an eclipse, which is I find to be the most powerful of all astrological alignments, and it's a full solar eclipse. It's an epic time. It's almost like a tidal wave of high vibrational energy coming into the planet, coming into your life, and lifting you up in all ways, in all possible ways that you can experience. Your human life are going to be uplifted and enhanced by this powerful wave of energy. I was just in Newport Beach myself, and I can't surf yet, but I do enjoy boogie boarding. And the whole name of the game is catching the wave. And when you can catch it right and time it right, that wave will take you, and it's exhilarating and fun, and it takes you all the way in to shore. And all you gotta do is enjoy the ride. That's kind of what's going on right now with your life, with your vibrational frequency. It's like you're catching a wave and riding it into shore, shore being a new upgraded version of yourself, a new upgraded life, all in harmony with your new higher frequency that you are revving at due to this powerful eclipse. As I always do, my friends, I'll go ahead now and break it down into 5 more practical, grounded themes that will help your life presently make more sense and help you get the absolute most out of this amazing alignment and time we are living in. Number 1, I wrote down a lower tolerance for lower vibrational energies. This can include people, places, things, situations, careers, the car you drive, the shoes you wear, everything. Now, what I mean more specifically is a lesser tolerance for anything that doesn't really resonate. It's not so much on a hierarchy of low or high. It's that you are coming into more of a alignment with your core, your true core home frequency. And as you do, you'll see how it contrasts with all the different things going on in your life, and anything that is now no longer resonating with you, and it can be a little thing slightly out of alignment, it's going to stick out to you in a pretty very obvious way. For example, recently my family and I went to Venice Beach as a way just to kind of kick back and get away and take a week off. We had never been there before. I just thought it would be cool. I wanted to see Muscle Beach, but come to my surprise, I come to find out it's not really my vibe. I think it's cool, I respect it, nothing bad to ever say about it, but it wasn't like the family type of vacation I was going for. And just the way this was experienced by me and my family it felt so dense and so stressful and so heavy. And I just had this intuitive knowing that we are not going to have a happy time here. And as a result of sort of dwelling in a vibration that was not high or low or bad or good, but just not in alignment with what I was intending at the time in my life, we just ran into all these strange scenarios and all these situations that made it so obvious, so clear. You've got to get the heck out of here if you want to enjoy this vacation. So we did. We traveled down to Newport Beach for the latter half of our vacation, and it was a complete 180. We were finally in a place that was in harmony with our situation and what we wanted at that time, and therefore it was experienced in a very beautiful, just a magical way. And that's the blessing of this greater contrast. I know when you're bombarded with a lot of information about the aspects of your life that no longer resonate, even if it's suddenly, it can be overwhelming and just exhausting to think about. But as you just naturally, as you're going to do, gravitate away things that don't resonate and towards things that do, you're going to be aligning your life in a way that's going to work out beautifully. You don't have to necessarily go through life thinking too much. It's more about going towards the obviously compatible energy. And then as you get into that, all your experiences, all the different things in your life are going to reflect that synchronization that you're now much more aware of than ever before. Number 2, I wrote down pushed up and into your flow. Very somewhat similar to what I was saying. You might notice This is something I wrote down and I chose to rephrase it. I wrote down initially, personal issues magnified. And what I mean by all this is that you are now at a point in your journey where you can truly let go and truly sink in to the natural rhythm and flow of your life. And when you do that, you'll be a lot happier. You'll always have what you need when you need it. The abundance, the freedom, the connection, all the different things you want in life will literally be there in your flow, in your river. You can have that type of synchronistic way of going through life right now. But when there are issues unresolved, which we all have, they will become magnified as a way of getting your attention and saying, you know what, you're ready for the flow, but this thing right now has got to go because it's pulling you out of the flow. It's like you keep getting in this river and it's amazing, but then for some reason we have these beliefs and unresolved patterns that draw us out of the river. And then out of the river, it's not fun. We're not moving forward. We feel stuck. We got like leaves and dirt all over us and it's no fun. But then we get back in the river and it's amazing. Now, analogies and metaphors aside, here's how it was playing out for me. As I mentioned, I was on vacation. Well, this is sort of a thing I've been building for a long time. The ability to take my family and travel and relax, and we just love vacations. And being on vacation, I had the potential to be in my flow. That's part of my life path and what I've been working towards. But one of my personal issues that has been magnified as an example was my inability to relax. I was on vacation, but I was at work mentally. And it was just the way it manifested was almost in like compulsively checking everything to make sure my business didn't just collapse because I chose to go on vacation. And it was like very, very obviously difficult for me to relax, even though on paper I could have. I prepared for the vacation. There was no actual reason to be so neurotic, but that was one of my issues. And it was playing out in a very, very obvious way. So when these things are happening, when you really find yourself really acting out of character or acting in a way that you don't prefer, it's because your personal issue at that point is being magnified to show you that, hey, you need to look at this area in your life. Because once you do, and once you see the message and realize that you can now let it go, you're actually ripe to let this pattern go, even if it's driving you nuts right now. And when you do, you will be in that river again, and the river will start moving faster and be more flowy and more synchronistic, and we are living in a very magical time where you can literally experience magic in your life, but we have to deal with the things that life is presenting to us that are now ripe for release. Number 3, I wrote down, and I'll explain, a new mentor. What I don't mean a new mentor exactly. I mean, whenever we get to these points in our journey where we take a vibrational jump and a leap in our consciousness expanding journey, oftentimes we will create the experience of a new mentor, a new source of information that comes into our life, whether it's a book or a YouTuber or a podcast, or it could be anything, any source of information that's telling you exactly what you need in your life to take you to that next level. I'm sure you've all experienced this many times. I've gone through many different mentors, many different people that would just synchronistically fall into my life. I would really just like them and resonate with them, and what they would say would be so spot on. It was just like mind-blowing. Here's the thing I do want to point out about that. That experience is all you. Basically, I hear all the time, Victor, how do you do it? How are you so spot on? How is this? It's literally not me. I just say what I say. A lot of my intuitive updates come from just my own life. But you align yourself with the message and create that synchronization and that the spot on messages. It's just that you are able to put yourself where you need to be when you need to be there. So it seems kind of divine and magical. But it's a divine and magical time right now, my friend. We are expanding, and there are a good likelihood that you're gonna experience your new level of consciousness through another person. So just remember that anytime you really resonate with someone and you just dig them, you are digging yourself. Congratulate yourself, because that's you, and they're merely reflecting the qualities and traits and attributes that you now possess. Number 4, I wrote down, looking deep into the eyes of darkness. Now that sounds scary, and frankly, it is a little bit. But what I mean by that is this, my friend. As we awaken, as we expand, we become aware of both the light and the darkness. On one hand, you very well may be experiencing a greater awareness of the divinity inherent in life, your true divine connection in a very visceral, literal, experiential sort of way. It's a great time to sync up with your spirit guides, or to really have life show you that you're really not alone at all. And you don't have to believe you are now creating real life experiences to where you know. Now, at the same time, there's the other end of the spectrum. We can't ignore it. It's equally valid. And that's being able to see into the eye of the darkness. And I'll give an example of how this has played out for me. So while in Venice Beach, I took my daughter to Muscle Beach, you know, with all the different pull-up bars and so forth on the beach. I always wanted to go there. It was actually kind of cool. But it was a lot of sort of shady characters were kind of welling up there. And at one point, there was these two people that were getting into a very, very heated argument. This one woman in particular was just flailing out these very nasty, derogatory, harsh words and labels to this other individual. And it was like, it's been a while since I've experienced that type of darkness, but it was so obvious to me. In fact, I even tried to explain it to my daughter that I said, do you see this person? I said, most people probably look at this person who was just sort of being belligerent in a sense, and they would resist this person and get mad at them and judge them. And I said, when I see someone like that, and it was more obvious to me than ever before that it was so clear this person was literally just in pain. They were going through their own anguish and just couldn't hold it in anymore. And this other dude was just some unlucky recipient of her baggage, basically. So I told my daughter, and she didn't really care, she's 10. I said, when I see someone like that, I try to send them love and try to have compassion. Okay, so seeing into the darkness isn't not necessarily a bad thing. It's just showing us, as like the light workers that we are, all the people watching this who are here to help, showing us what we are dealing with. We are dealing with the monstrous ego manifest here in physical reality, and being aware of it allows us to make changes. I was able to take that situation and give my 10-year-old daughter a real good life lesson to where she might now go through life and have compassion for those characters. That's just an example. I say all that as a way of letting you know that you don't have to hide from the darkness or fear it. In fact, when you bring it into your life, it means it's time for you to learn something from it, and you will grow yourself. But regardless, we're dealing with an expansion of consciousness right now, and you will in some way be aware more so, more deeply and clearly, both the light and the darkness. And it's all part of the same whole. It's all part of the world we live in. Number 5, I wrote down, your new vibrational home. And what I mean by that is this. All of these things, all these experiences you're going through, the awareness of the darkness, the awareness of the divinity, your personal issues magnified, the lower tolerance for things that don't resonate, all this stuff, all these effects of this powerful eclipse and new moon are there for a purpose, a perfect purpose, to bring you into harmony with yourself and your life, to align you and your new frequency with your spot on the globe, the people around you, the career, all aspects of life will become more synchronized with your new frequency. And when that happens, you just feel better. You're more in that river and more in the flow. But the important thing, a little caveat I want to mention here, is to be particular. Don't settle. It will, when you find these elements, these lost elements of yourself out there in your life, whether it's a new job or a car or whatever, when you find them, they will, when they're really part of you, they will be so obvious and just stick out at you like a sore thumb. It reminds me a long time ago in my journey when my wife and I felt we're going through this exact same thing, almost a decade ago now. And we are guided to leave our home and to leave our jobs and to leave our relationships and to kind of go off and traveling. And we didn't know where we were going. We just knew that we didn't belong here, this where we were, any longer. And we found, we were really wanting to find our home. We wanted to find a place to live. We were literally living in an RV at that time. And at some point we settled in South Florida, and we realized we want to live somewhere here in South Florida. Finally, we found the right city, and we were actually going house shopping with a realtor. And we were so excited to be there, just sort of like knew this is gonna be our spot. We knew all the madness, all the chaos, all the contrast we were going through was leading us here. We could feel it. And we had such high expectations because we just had that knowing that we were coming into our vibrational home at that time in our journey. But what happened, sort of a really interesting example that'll really give you an idea of what I've been trying to say here, is that when we were going house hunting, it was so hard to find the right house. We went to this one house and we were like, you know what? This is awesome. This is perfect. Then we go out in the backyard, and there were 3 huge pit bulls in the next yard. And we actually love pit bulls. We had one, but the one we had was not really good with other dogs, and that would have been a disaster. So we're like, oh, this is perfect. We can't go here. We went to the next house. The next house was even better. Like, wow, this is even a little bit bigger, just more spacious, more ideal. And then you know what happened? We went into the upstairs bathroom, the master bathroom, and guess what? The whole freaking roof had caved in and fallen all over the place. It was obvious that we were like the first people to discover that. So that was out of the question. Finally, we get close to the beach. We find this really amazing house, and guess what? We pull up, and these 2 guys walk out of the garage and say, "Oh, hey, how you doing? What are you doing here? We just rented this place." No! And I was so frustrated because I had that sort of feeling like, I know it. I know we're supposed to be here. Where is it? Why are we going through all this like, why am I having these opportunities just dangled in front of me and taken away in such cruel fashion? Well, guess what happened? An hour later, our realtor said, you know what? I found this spot. And I will never forget in my life, as we were driving up to this new prospect of a house, and I was watching on my GPS how close we are getting to the ocean. That's where we wanted to be, by the ocean with that amazing energy. And we were getting closer and closer and closer. We found this place that was literally steps away from the beach. It was just 100% more ideal than all the other homes we looked at that we thought we wanted, and we were in our vibrational home, at least for that time in our life. And it was a pure magical time in my life where I was really shown the power of our manifestation capabilities, and I developed such a trust in my spirit. And I was actually thankful for the extreme examples of where not to go. I could have easily justified going to any of those other homes. If not for the crazy dogs, if not for the roof caving in, if not for the fact that it was rented, I would have easily settled for a place that was not really as much of a match as I could at that time manifest. So don't settle. Use the contrast as information. Let it be obvious when you get to the right career, where you meet that special soulmate, someone, and you just find out where you want to live, whatever it is in your life. There could be big things going on right now too. Let it be obvious. Let it smack you in the face with, this is yours. This is yours, now enjoy it, okay? Anyways, my friends, that was my best way of kind of giving you my perception of what's going on right now. It's a very beautiful time. I sense big positive changes resulting from this eclipse energy and the new moon as well. So I wish you all nothing but the best with all that. Have an amazing day. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and your love and your support and your work. Anybody who's watching at this moment of the video, who's watched the whole thing, is doing a lot of work, a lot of inner work, a lot of outer work. And I just wrote in an email today, it's oftentimes a very thankless job. I just get so touched sometimes when I really tap into what's happening, where I'm speaking to maybe thousands of other people who are going through this exact same transformation that I am. And I know it's not always easy, but it does have its amazing rewards, which you're gonna get this month. But I just wanna take this moment to say thank you for your work. If no one else thanks you, if no one else recognizes the work you're doing, I do. Okay, my friends, that's all for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I wish you all nothing but the best on your journey, on your path. It's an amazing, a very uplifting, expansive time. A time of miracles, a time of magic, a time of awesome manifestation. And I wish you all nothing but the best on your journey. If you're brand new to my channel, which a lot of people do find me through these updates, let me just say welcome to you. It's a true honor to be here speaking in front of you, because I know the work you're doing. Even though it's oftentimes a very thankless job, this transformation process we're all going through, I want you to know that I appreciate and I recognize you and I love you, and I appreciate your viewership as well. And as a gift for all my new subscribers, I have a free guided meditation that'll help you come into a greater alignment with your higher self and higher consciousness. You all have higher selves and you're all always connected to it, but not everyone experiences it as deeply and clearly as they can. So I created a meditation that'll help you really line up with your home frequency so you can get the downloads and just the insights and the guidance, the confirmation that's always available to you from your higher self. It's a free meditation. Check it out down below. There's a link at the very top of the description box. And also I'll leave a comment mentioning as well. With that said, I'm gonna bounce. You guys have an amazing day, an amazing journey. Namaste.